The culmination of basically an 8-year project between New Zealand and Australia, or the University of Tasmania. We are importing this wasp from Tasmania to New Zealand to control an invasive eucalypt feeding beetle in New Zealand. When any invasive species gets into another country, it escapes all its own natural enemies. So in Australia, this particular beetle we don't find very often, but in New Zealand it's extremely abundant because it's escaped all its natural enemies, which is why we're looking at bringing in a larval parasitoid to do that. We did a wider international collaboration beyond New Zealand to North America, University of Central Florida, with experts in wasp taxonomy, and they helped us describe 3 new species. And this species that we're releasing, they named Edia Daenerys after the Game of Thrones. Obviously they're very big on that over there. So the mother of dragons. The wasp will come out of the ground in a very short time window. So it's a spring, early December active wasp, which is the key period for the beetle in New Zealand when they don't get good control from the egg parasitoid that they've introduced. The lifestyle of the wasp has been compared quite often to the movie Aliens. The wasp actually deposits an egg, the hapless crew member or host larvae moves around as if nothing's wrong with it, and then the chest burster stage starts, and that's it for the crew member or host larvae. Because they're so specific in how they operate, the beetle larvae actually moves around as if it's completely normal. You wouldn't know. There's no obvious sign until it gets very close to the point where obviously the inside of the beetle larvae is pretty much wasp, and at that point then the beetle larvae slows down and the wasp takes over. The wasp's offspring must kill the host in order to complete its development.
So I will be physically taking them in my luggage back to New Zealand. When I first arrive in New Zealand, I'll have to declare them straight away, and that'll go through a system where they'll be checking all the paperwork and everything's in order. Then we have to drive directly to Scion, where it will go into the quarantine facility. So they'll be in there actually for the next year until they go into release.
Well, New Zealand has funded a lot of this work, and the end point is New Zealand. We didn't know anything about this wasp or this wasp genus and how important it is in our own forestry and plantation systems, and how we can protect our own systems to enable these wasps to do their job in our plantations as well. So it's a win-win for both, not just for New Zealand but also for Australia.